Hey students, I hope you guys are doing well. Gosh, how long has it been since we've met together, like for youth group? It has been so long, I've lost track of the time. It feels like forever. Um, Before we start our next series, our next video lesson series, and hopefully that might turn into actual youth group series, but I want to go through the book of James next. Before we get to that, and we'll start that next week, I wanted to just share with you guys how I've been feeling. Maybe you guys have been feeling the same way too, but I want to share with you guys how I've been feeling recently, and read to you a verse that came to mind when I was thinking about this and trying to just process my feelings. Honestly, this time has been hard. I've felt busy and behind. I've felt fatigued. But have you been feeling the same way too? I mean, this has not been easy for me. I thought, man, this would feel like vacation. We get to stay home. We don't have to go out. This will be great. Like, we'll save money and all this stuff. But man, it has been tiring. It has been kind of discouraging. And I've been really feeling like a big part of my life has been missing. And I'm chalking that up to not being able to be together with God's people, not being able to meet at youth group, not being able to worship on Sundays. And I don't know if you guys have been feeling the same way. I wonder if you have or not. But man, it has been hard not being able to be with you guys. I just wanted to share that. I needed to tell you guys that I miss you, that I love you, that I wish I could be with you, and I'm really longing for the day that we get to have youth group again. We get to sing, and we get to think about God's word together and play games. So before I get into that passage, I wanted to not forget to tell you that if you had missed our last week's video lesson, we shared with you guys our plans for camp. So we're not going to be able to go to Mazama, but we do have some other plans. So if you want to check out that video and hear more about our plan for camp and the theme for camp, we talk about that in this video, and I'll give you a link to that video here. So I was reminded of these verses, having this feeling in my heart, kind of being carried along in my mind these past few weeks of kind of just fatigue and tired, and just feeling over this season. These verses came to mind that kind of put word to this feeling that I've been having. So in 3 John, as John is closing out this letter, he writes this really interesting thing at the end. He says, "I had much to write to you, but I would rather not write with pen and ink. I hope to see you soon, and we will talk face to face. Peace to you. The friends greet you. Greet the friends, each by name." I remember this passage as I was preparing for our pause series that we did about resting in Christ in the technology age. And this passage came up. Somebody was talking about how, yes, the digital age is a really big part of our life, and we have meaningful relationships over screens and through text messages, and we even learn a lot through like streaming and live stuff and videos, but that's not how we were intended to live our lives in community with one another. And this passage goes to show that even technology isn't a sufficient replacement for in-person, face-to-face community and relation. So when John says, "I'd rather not write with pen and ink," he's talking about the technology of his day. If he had YouTube, he would have said, "I would rather not talk to you with YouTube. I'd rather see you face to face." So we're doing the same. We are communicating the best we can through the technology that we have. And we see it as a means of grace that God has given us. He's provided this opportunity for us to talk and to share and to communicate through technology, but it is not what God designed for us to continue in long term. God has designed us for face-to-face, person-to-person, name-to-name interaction and relationship, and that is written in the DNA of our souls. And so I take comfort in this. I take comfort knowing that John has felt this before. that people throughout history have felt this longing for God's people, feeling like there's something missing in our lives and getting this fatigue of not having what God has designed for us. And man, it would be so comforting to know that you guys have been feeling this too. Man, if you have, let me know. I miss talking to you guys. I miss hearing from you. I miss knowing how you're doing, and it would mean so much to me if you guys would reach out and share with me how you've been feeling, how you've been dealing with this time through these past few months, and that would be so encouraging to me. Anyways, I end with the same words that John does. Peace to you. The friends greet you. Greet the friends, each by name. Reach out to your friends. God gives us names week to week as we remember them. I don't know if you're like me, but I find it hard to call them, to text them, to reach out to them, to initiate the conversation. But I'm praying that God would change that in me, that I'd be more like Jesus in that way. But I encourage you guys, I pray that you'd find peace in your life this week. And I also pray that you guys would take the initiative to love your friend, to reach out to them, to communicate, to write a note, send a text message, give them a call, do something to let them know that you love them. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. I love you all. I miss you. Take care.